So for the Thor 1541, there's an on-off switch down below. You'll turn that on. The speed should be set to about 500. If it isn't, you can do plus or minus until you get there. There's a light with the machine. You'll want to tap that 1, 2, 3 times for maximum brightness. 1, 2, 3. We have a second one here just so we can show you the machine. There aren't two that come with the machine. I apologize. This machine has an automatic needle positioner, so you hit the N, you can make it stop in the up position, or you can hit it again, it'll say DN, and that'll make it stop in the down position. So when you stop sewing, it will continue until it stops in whatever position you set it to. This is your speed selector here, so you can go up to 4200, which is good for winding a bobbin. This is your reverse lever. This is your stitch length selector. If you're having trouble going lower, all you need to do is slightly lower the lever and you'll have no problem. On average, I would keep it at about a 4.5 or a 5. All of our machines have a machine magnet so you can keep your snips or tools handy. Up here, this machine has a hump jumper. So if you are going over a thick piece of fabric, you can use it to lower or raise that inside foot, and it will adjust and walk over your fabric accordingly. This here is your bobbin winder, so I will show you how to wind a bobbin. We're going to start with our spool of thread on the thread stand, wind it from the back to the top. There's a little pin on the back here. You're going to want to add some extra tension. I usually start from the back bottom, candy cane around to the top, out the front. There's a little tension disc here. You're going to want to go in, wrap around, and then back through that hole. And it should feed through nice and even. Our bobbin here, we're going to wind from the inside out. We're going to thread it, I should say. And we'll stick that on the bobbin winder. If you're having trouble making it work, you don't want to push this so it's touching your bobbin. You want to kind of have it in the middle. You'll lift up your foot lift, and then you'll be able to press, if you want to do that, press on the pedal. And again, nice and slow. It's just like driving a car, so the faster you press, the faster it goes. The furthest part. You're just tapping on the front. Yeah, there you go. So it'll wind. You can go a little faster. And just make sure you hold your thread until it's wound around a couple times, and then you're going to apply some tension in the downward position, and it'll cut your thread off so that you don't have to worry about stopping to snip your extra little thread piece. And once you've wound it all the way, it will pop, or I should say it should. And winding a bobbin quickly is good. It keeps the oil circulating throughout your machine and running as smoothly as possible. The fly. Okay. I would stop. Yeah. It probably would have popped, but you don't want an overfull bobbin, so you want to make sure that you're still able to see a little bit of the silver on the edges of the bobbin. If you have more bobbins to wind, you could cut it here and continue going, but if you're all done, you can cut it up here if you have good eyesight. And then a great way to keep your bobbin from unwinding is to just pull and nest that spare thread inside the others. It doesn't come undone. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye. Okay. I'm okay. Yeah. Okay.
Bobbin.
So now to thread the machine, we want to make sure that we switch our speed back to just 500. Your needle is currently down inside the machine, so we're not going to be able to put the bobbin in. So you want to just do that quick little heel tap to bring the needle to the full upright position. Inside the drawer is our bobbin case. And we're just going to, I think you make a 9 essentially, but you'll just thread that through the bobbin casing and then insert that into the machine until you hear a click, and then you want to give it a little wiggle to make sure that it's not going to just fall out. All right, so now that we've wound our bobbins, we don't need to worry about any of these tension discs or pins on the right side of the machine. We're gonna start with this little plate here. If you're using thicker threads, you're gonna wanna wind it around more times, but for this machine and this thread style, you want to go around it 1 to 2 times. We'll just go ahead and do 2. But the more you go through it, the more tension it adds, the more adjustments you might have to make to your tension knobs, tension discs. So once we've got it through there twice, or 1 time, whatever, or more, you're going to insert into this small hole and wrap it around this tension disc, going in the downward position. This little button here releases all the tension from those discs, so it's nice to press that while you're doing this to make sure it goes in between. You're gonna go under that first one and wrap over the second one, and you're gonna come back down. Here is where I would release that and just double check that you're feeling a good amount of tension. You're gonna wrap around this, and this is a super important part. If this is not clicked in properly, you're gonna have issues. You're gonna hold it and pull it towards the right, and you should hear a click. And then we're gonna come under this hook into the thread, or the needle uptake bar, I think they call it. In through the hook on the other side, and then this is a fun game I like to play, where I go through the hole behind the bar and see if I can get it back through the hole in one little pass. So there's an opening at the top, you're gonna go through that little plate and then back down through the bottom. There is a small hole just above the needle that you're going to insert your thread into. And then this machine threads from left to right. And then you can use the hand wheel to bring your threads up. And then I always recommend using a little scrap of fabric to make sure that your tension is good, that you've threaded the machine correctly, and of course, if you have any issues, you can let us know.